The Green Bay Packers just wrapped up preseason, regular season, but it did feel like a preseason game against the Minnesota Vikings. 16-3, the final score. No Jordan Love, no Josh Jacobs, no Xavier McKinney, no Rashawn Gary. The list goes on and on. But I'm Dominique Yates. I'm joined by longtime columnist Pete Dougherty. Pete, the game was played.
It was.
It was a final score there.
It was a football game.
It was a football game.
Dal, So 1993 was my first season. I think this was the strangest regular season game I ever covered. I mean, the third string quarterback starting, they held out everybody they absolutely could. If they could have suited up 75 guys, then none of the top 40 would have played. I mean, it was really bizarre, and the whole thing was just to get out of it without getting anybody who they're going to need next week, any of those guys hurt.
And it seemed like mission accomplished. Bo Melton did drop in that game, but he seemed to be okay. Javon Bullard, we talked to him after the game. He said he's fine as well, like a little hyperextension on his knee, but he did all right. But I will say, if there were any type of bright spots or moments, if you will, something that I was interested in seeing is what were some of the young guys going to be able to do, from Barron Sorrell, Colin Oliver, as well as Trayvon Diggs making his debut in Green Bay. And at least for a half for Diggs and for the rest of the guys, it seems like there's some promise there.
Yeah, Sorrell, he jumped out, made some plays. Oliver looked like he had a couple good rushes, and then he had some where he looked like an undersized rusher who gets locked onto a tackle. I can't say that I was really interested in what Hopper did. Now, it's really hard to focus on one guy all game, so I don't know what he did, down in, down out. He certainly didn't jump out like I thought he might to earn some snaps next week. So, I'll be curious to get a second look at the game and to see what some of those guys did down in, down out. But it was that was a rough watch. It was a rough watch.
There was not enough coffee to get me through that game, but somehow I think some sugar and coffee, that did the trick. But I will say, finally, as far as talking to some of these guys, well, clearly there's no, you say, momentum heading into the playoffs because of the losing streak that they're on right now. But I guess, what were the takeaways? What did they kind of say about that, as far as, I guess now trying to flip the switch and get ready for possibly Chicago or maybe even Philly?
Yeah, I talked to probably 5 starters, I'm guessing. And they're saying what they should be saying. Everybody's 0-0. The season this starts now. The margin for error is gone. All those things, and they're all right about those things. I did the best I could tell from going around the Google world for a while. Was there's been 2 teams at least since 1999 that have gone into the playoffs with a 4-game losing streak: the '99 Lions and the '24 Steelers. Both lost in the wild card round. There's been a few teams that have won with a 3-game losing streak, which is what you consider with the Packers, since they didn't play anybody today. Yeah. And a couple of them got one of them got to the end. At least one of them got to the championship game. Mm-hmm. So, that history is a little better, but it's still, you talk to coaches, you talk to players. They always talk, like in the beginning of the season, well, we want to be playing our best football in December. And the Packers haven't done that. So they're going to have to kind of flip a switch here, and it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But, yeah, they wrap up regular season play 9-7-1 after this 16-3 loss to the Minnesota Vikings. That wraps up regular season play. It's on to the playoffs, and we will see what's to come for this Packers team. For Pete Dougherty, I'm Dominique Yates.